All right, it's show number 182, recorded on September 2016. 13th, 2016. And tonight you're seeing just me. Tim's here, but Tim's having some internet connection issues. So while we're showing video of us, it'll just be me, unfortunately. And we'll just hear Tim, and it'll force me to describe things maybe a little better for our audio listeners, who I often forget about as I'm talking about photos and don't describe things well. Because Tim can't see anything I'm talking about.
Nope.
Tim, welcome back. It's been not your fault, my fault, that we've missed several weeks here through various things. One, something to think about. I have battery backup for every computer in the house. I even have a battery backup for our main TV. And if you remember a few weeks back, Tim, I don't remember when it was, we couldn't have a show because I lost power like an hour before the show started.
Right.
Yeah, so the battery backup for our TV, my wife and I were actually watching TV, and the TV kept running when the power went out. And it's like, wow, this is awesome. Hopefully it won't stay out too long. But the problem is we were watching it on Amazon, and it had buffered a little bit. So it buffered a couple of minutes or whatever. We were able to continue watching for a couple of minutes, but my router immediately went offline. I just didn't know it because the battery backup for it had failed. So it ran fine until it needed, until the power went out, and then boom, it went off. And the reality is that computer doesn't use a lot of power, so it might have been able to keep up the router for the entire 2 or 3 hour outage. Maybe not that long, but at least a half hour or so. But anyway, without power, eventually we couldn't do anything anyway. All the computers eventually lost power. So we had that. We had some other issues. I don't know what else, but we're back now, and hopefully we'll be getting back on track with some guests. Summer is always awful for me, from work standpoint, from my day job. So hopefully now we're getting back on track. And this show, just Tim and I wanted to talk about a few things. And as I usually say, Tim, this shouldn't take the whole hour, but yeah, you never know. First, let me say I'm going to pull this page up. This is our website, jpeg2RAW.com. And guess what happened the other day, Tim?
I can guess without even seeing it. Over 1 million.
Yes, we crossed over 1 million. I didn't even put a date on this. So crap, I don't know what date this happened. But it happened a couple weeks ago where jpeg2RAW podcast went over 1 million views and / listens since our inception. So that is just awesome, Tim.
That is wonderful.
I thought it would happen somewhere here in August and September, and it happened the first part of September that we went over 1 million views / listens. And that is a lot to say for our guest. We've had some awesome guests over the 5 years. And of course, for the listeners and viewers, 1 million different ones. Just a huge huge milestone, not a hurdle, huge milestone that we hit there.
Well, that's a lot to you there, Mike. You really put a lot of heart and soul into this.
Well, to both of us, you've been with me since show number 4. So yeah, we've worked hard to keep this going, and a lot of it's YouTube, a lot of it's iTunes, and a lot of support from people, all those listeners that have been there, and all our guests. And we're going to talk about this on one of the topics coming up. I love hearing about our guests on things that just happening in their life. I saw a commercial the other day for, I think it was an investment company or something like that, and it showed all these underwater dogs, and it had an actress pretending to be the photographer that who took those photos. And it was one of those things, they're kind of playing the music and talking about how, she started doing this and she moved to this and now she's got her gallery, talking about all that and making it sound like these are her photos. And I'm yelling at the TV, I know who took those photos. He was a guest on our show, Seth Castile. And then, of course, at the end, it has a little blurb at the end, the bottom of it, that says, photos courtesy of Seth Castile or whatever else. Mm-hmm. And I said, oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I'm sure he got paid for that. They didn't just give him photo credit. So that's that. I have started, I'm holding up now, Tim, the 1 year Adobe Creative Cloud photography plan, which is Photoshop and Lightroom. I'm holding that up right now, showing everybody. I bought that. This is going to be one of the giveaways we do with the annual jpeg2RAW photo contest, best of 2016, that we will be holding. So I'm already starting to get ready for that, Tim.
Very good. Very good.
I got that. There was some kind of sale going on one of these. It's, it was like $99, whatever. I was going to buy 3, but they don't let you buy 1. So I bought 1. I'm going to give it away, but not until the contest, and you have to enter the contest. And just so I can show you here, I'm going to go over to our Facebook page, Facebook group, Tim. Facebook group.
Okay.
This is one of the places you can go to enter the contest. We have one every month. Then we'll have the best of 2016 at the end of the year. You go to you go to facebook.com/group/jpeg2RAW, and this we usually have the album posted at the top. We do this month. This month we did a theme. We haven't done a theme in a year, maybe 18 months.
I was going to say, I was going to say a long time.
Yeah, we haven't done a theme in a long time. But this time we're doing a theme. We're doing people. Which shouldn't be too hard. That could mean a lot of stuff.
There's quite a lot of people around this world.
Yeah. So, as you can see at the top, we have a winner from the July one. Tonight, we're going to announce a winner from the August one. You don't get any cash winning the monthly ones, but you do get your name up there, and we do publicize it. For the best of 2016, the best of the year contest, there are giveaways. Like I mentioned, the photography Lightroom, the Adobe Creative Cloud photography plan. You get that. You can enter here on our Facebook group, or you can go over to our page, go to photo contest, and then photo contest entry, and enter there. And each month you can do this too if you don't want to go through the Facebook group. And eventually that'll pull up. There you go. September. Theme people. So there you go. We'd love to have you come and join that. One more thing. Let me show you this. I can't show you, Tim. Let me tell you about this, Tim. So I did, we have a number of Facebook groups, and I had someone say, Mike, I don't feel comfortable entering the one over in your main jpeg2RAW, main group on Facebook, because there's so many great photographers out there. They felt somewhat intimidated, and we have a beginners group, and they wanted their own contest over there. Now, this one won't be cash. It won't have a best of 2016 that has cash awards or anything like that. You have to enter the main one for that. But, this is one where you maybe feel a little less intimidated. So we have over here is just Facebook groups.com, facebook.com/groups, and then search for jpeg2RAW beginners. There's only about 32 people in there, but we are starting to grow that as we continue on, trying to get more people in there. And, enter that one. Join that group. Enter that one if you don't feel comfortable entering our main one. There you go.
Very good.
Any questions, Tim? I know you can't see any of this.
No, I see it late. I see it late. And what I see I can't, I can't even get into Facebook.
Oh, dear God.
I just did a speed test, and it shows 1.7 up download and 16.89 upload. So this is just, I feel like I'm on dial-up.
Yeah. Well, I'll just keep describing it to you. All right. I think for this next thing, I need to do a follow-up. If you remember one of our last shows we did, I talked about something called Block AI. Remember that? Mm-hmm. And I did a walkthrough where I showed people, me logging in, me setting up an account, logging in, and uploading some photos and doing all that kind of stuff. And it was supposed to be a place where you can upload your photos that sets up saying that you've published them or whatever. So you still got to file them with the Copyright Office. It doesn't take that out of the picture. But they're claiming that they'll search the internet and find where your photo is being used somewhere else. So we uploaded one photo during that test, during that show, and it found the result, a match. And then afterwards, maybe in the post show or after the show, whatever it is, I upload several more. So and then as it finds new matches, it's supposed to alert you, send you emails, and let you know so you can take action. Right. So I thought, this might be a great service, doing that. So it's been, gosh, Tim, it's been at least a month or more since I did this, right? I uploaded 15 photos
Okay.
and it still only has the one match. And I know for a
Wow.
fact that the one that it did find, that image is being used a half dozen or more places, and several of the others are being used other places too. So it should have a dozen matches or more here,
Right. It should have found those.
and it's only found one. So maybe I'm doing something wrong, although it seems fairly straightforward and simple. But to me, this has been totally worthless.
Yeah, I would say.
Yeah,
You got your hopes up right at the beginning too.
I did. It seemed so simple. It seemed like a great idea. Now I'm starting to wonder what is going on here. Did I upload my photos to a place that I should not have uploaded
Now they're
to?
using them.
Yeah, now they're using them. Maybe this made it worse. I don't know. I doubt that is. I don't want to say anything that's wrong here, but I'm just saying for me and for how I used it, didn't work at all. One match. If I was using this and basing it just on this, I would think that's pretty good. I only have one match out of all these, and I know that's absolutely wrong.
Oh well, that's sad.
So use at your own risk.
Jim says it best. Worthless.
Yeah. Yep. Use at your own risk. If you figure it out and say, Mike, you were doing it wrong, let me know. Podcast at jpeg2RAW.com. Although I don't see what I could have done wrong. Anyway, that's that block. I felt like I needed to do a follow up on that. You can't even see my shirt. Tim, I wore a shirt just for you.
Yeah, I saw it before, but now I don't see it.
Whatever.
Whatever. Yes. No, I have access to the live show. I see the live show, but
That's true.
I don't see it in Skype.
Okay, that's true. So I felt like I needed to do an update on Block AI because we talked about it. We had high hopes for it, and it just didn't work out at all.
Oh well.
Yep. All right. I want to talk about this. You remember when we had this is going to be real quick because I don't have this camera. It's just a neat little hack for somebody who does have this camera. You remember when we had the Marinos on?
Mm-hmm.
What was his name? Jason and Joanne, I think it was. Jason and Joanne Marino.
I don't remember her name, but Jason sounds familiar.
I think it was Joanne. I think it was Jason and Joanne Marino. Well, he owns a Nikon D750. And apparently there's a something that happens with Nikon D750s that is common amongst all or many Nikon D750 users, and that is the eye cup keeps getting knocked off and lost.
Well, that happens to my camera too. I think I've put either 3 or 4 on my camera already.
Yeah, well, maybe this is a new epidemic with cameras, but Jason was losing them all the time. The author of this post here I'm about to show you has lost them all the time and really just gave up and just didn't have one on his camera because he lost them so many times. So what Jason did, and this is an article by Adam Sparkies over on F-Stoppers. What Jason did is he came up with a little bit of gaffer's tape, and let's see if I can zoom in on that there. A little bit of gaffer's tape, and he wrapped it around the bottom of the eye cup on the D750. And then wrapped it up under the fold-out LCD. So here's a photo of the LCD where he's taped it down in there. And so it still may pop off, although I think he said it hasn't because he's put that down fairly tight. So it's down pretty tight, and it's hidden behind the LCD screen. I'm
going to have to try that.
Yeah, so that little
piece gaffer's tape is a lot cheaper than the eye cup. I think the eye cup cost me $14 or $15, and I think the last time I saw it on Amazon, there was like only 2 left in stock. I bought both of them because I said I'm going to lose this one. So
yeah, and this gaffer's tape is gaffer's tape doesn't leave that residue too, so it won't leave sticky residue all over the place when you do this. And I don't know how yours is, Tim, but on this one, if you can see it, either you got the page pulled up yourself or watching it on the live thing. The bottom part of the D750 eye cup is got a little bar there, whatever it is, along the bottom that has a little bit of space underneath it, so you can wrap the gaffer's tape around it and then tape it down underneath the LCD screen. So look that up over on, if you have a D750, definitely look this up over on F-Stoppers. Look up, I think the title of the article is D750 Hack. And for D750 users, the title here says the Nikon D750 hack that will change your life.
You want to know what the really funny thing is? I just looked at my camera and my eye cup is missing.
That's sad that they're making them fall off so much. What is
Well,
going on
mine
there?
is, I don't know how the shape of yours is. Mine is in the shape of a U. So when it goes on, it just clips on over the top. And I know a lot of times when I pull my camera out of the camera bag, I grab it from the front with my thumb going in the eye cup, and I know that's when I pull it off. I know it's my fault.
Yeah.
Now I'm annoyed at myself, and I hope I can find my spare one, and then I'm gonna super glue it to it. That's what I'm gonna do.
All right. So I have I just came back, Tim, from a trip up to North Georgia.
Okay.
My wife and I tried to do it twice a year, but it's not always twice a year. I know you guys go to Disney twice a year or twice a month or whatever it is.
In 3 weeks, I go back.
Every 3 weeks. No, so twice a year, my wife and I try to do a little weekend getaways. Usually just the weekend, maybe an extra day. A little weekend getaway to North Georgia. So it's a couple hours away from here at most, and rent a cabin up there and have a nice little weekend, just the two of us. And we went up there this past weekend, and none of the leaves have started to change yet. There might be a little bit of a hint of leaf change going on, but it might have just been a tree that was dying. It really wasn't anything to see. But the weather, it was still hot, but you can tell in the mornings it was getting into the high 50s, and you knew I can tell fall's coming. And that's my favorite time of the year is fall. I like spring too, but fall is my favorite. And you can tell fall is coming, and I get excited about the fall color change and landscape photography with the fall colors. And I found this site called, let's see, what is it called? SmokyMountains.com.
Okay.
And this is not going to be as good if you can't see it, but I'll describe it for you. And what they have over there on the SmokyMountains.com/fall-foliage-map, or not dash, what is it? Yeah, dash. They have a picture of a map of the United States. And it's got a slider down at the bottom, and right now it's set to September 9th. And as you slide the slider to the right, making the date advance, the map changes, showing you where there's no change in leaves yet, there's minimal, there's patchy, partial, near peak, peak, and past peak. So, as you can, in the map that I'm looking at right now for September 7th, 9th, whatever, that's the time it has there, the only areas that really are showing any kind of minimal change or maybe even patchy is in like Connecticut, Vermont, that kind of area.
Right.
A little bit in Minnesota maybe, and then way down in Colorado or somewhere down there in the Rocky Mountains. Hey, I almost got a video of Tim there.
I turned it on and off, hoping
something would happen. As I move it forward to the 16th, you can start. You can't, but you'll see it here in a minute. The United States gets a little bit more that is changing than the 23rd. It's got even more. That's the 30th, and they've developed this over time. So while it's of course not perfect, it is something to think about as you're thinking about getting out there and starting to shoot your fall colors. September 30th, October 7th. By October 7th, the entire United States is starting to show some kind of change. And part of it, back up there in the Vermont and that kind of area, is actually starting to go past peak.
Right.
October 14th, now North Georgia, where I would be going, is either at peak or near peak. And then October 21st, most of Georgia, where I live, is either peak or past peak. So for me and Tim, it looks like by that time, by October 21st, you're past peak.
Yeah, I'm the 14th. Looks like for me is the 21st. I'm already past peak for certain. I'm somewhere between the 14th and the 7th and the 14th.
Mm-hmm.
The 30th, it's just partial.
For me,
this is pretty cool.
For me, it's the 14th to the 21st is going to be the biggest time for me. And I've mentioned this before. The podcast has done has really distracted from my photography.
Mm-hmm.
What's so sad is I went up to North Georgia this past weekend. I had set my new infrared camera on the table, saying, "All right, I'm going to bring my camera gear and the infrared camera." And I woke up as we got up there, I said, "Oh, let me go get the infrared camera. I want to take some pictures now before it gets too dark." I forgot it.
Of
So,
course you did.
yeah, infrared is not going to be a fall photo camera. I don't think. I may try it, but it definitely is. A scenery, a landscape photographers. That's a great time of year. So I've got to force myself to get out there and get some more shots and spend some time during the weekend doing that. But eventually, in the whole United States, by November 11th, the vast majority of the United States, you're past peak. So this is a good tool to use depending on where you live. If you live in the United States, I don't know if there's one for other countries. I think the SmokyMountains.com one is probably just the United States. So if you live in the United States, this is a good general guideline that you can use to pick when you're going to get out there. You may want to go out, like I'm going to go out, the weekend or two before peak so you can get some ideas on where you want to go. Right, Tim?
Well, I like that idea, and there's so many tools on the internet that you can use that can help you. Absolutely, you got to do it. You got to look for it, and it can only help you. Because otherwise, you're going to go going off of experience.
Yeah, and I have sometimes gotten busy with life and thought, okay, because I live down here in the Atlanta area, and thought I'm going to go up to North Georgia and take my photos, which is going to be a better place to go take landscape photos here where I live. I'm going to go up there and take some landscape photos. I go up there and it's already past peak.
Right.
So it's they're going to go much faster than we're going to go down here in Atlanta. And as you can see in that the thing, if you look at that area, North Georgia versus a little bit further down in Georgia, I'm a little bit further down around Atlanta area. We're 2 to 3 weeks behind the north area. So I got to take that into account.
Yes.
All right.
Now, why would that be? That it's. Is there mountains or anything in that area?
That's the lower end of the Smoky Mountains.
So that's where you're getting hit with the higher peaks. So it's changing, I guess. I had the article open. I'm gonna have to read why do autumn leaves change their colors and the science of it all. So that to me is interesting. It helps you better understand what's happening.
Yeah, I've just shown the map, but as you go down, it does tell you that. It gives you some of the science on it. It tells you talks about the oranges, the reds, the yellows. It even has a nice little quote here from Albert Camus. Autumn is a second spring where every leaf is a flower.
There you go.
That's kind of cool.
Actually, I was going to say, I actually like that.
Yeah. So I'll put that.
See now,
show notes.
Do all of your? Because you're obviously a lot further south than I am, and your grass probably doesn't go dormant like mine. Well, do you have to cut your grass all year?
No, our grass. We have Bermuda, so our grass does go dormant. Yes.
Okay, I wasn't sure on that.
Yep.
Because I actually cut my grass probably about now I look at this, probably till about October 28th, November 4th, somewhere in that range is the last time I'll cut the grass.
Okay. When did you say the last time?
Probably around that October 28th, November 4th, and then probably start cutting it either the last week of March, first week of April.
That's pretty close to us too. Yes.
Okay.
That's pretty close to us. That's not too far off. Yep. All right. So let's now talk about, if I can find these. I was going to do something about sports. Oh, well, let me do this for you. Let me show you a couple of photos of where I was. This is not going to give you a great idea, but I'll just show it to you. And you'll have to wait and see it a little bit. So this is from our deck, and you can kind of see the mountains back there, a little bit of fog coming in. And I say mountains, more like hills. I would say hills, not mountains, and the little valleys. And you can see none of the colors are changing.
Okay.
You should be able to see that now, right?
Nope.
Are you still watching live?
I still see you. That's the only way I see it. Oh, no, there it is.
Okay.
That's your backyard?
No, that's not my backyard. That'd be
I was going to say,
awesome if it
wow.
was. No, this is the cabin where we rented up in North Georgia, and
Okay.
this is the rolling hills there and some hills in the background. You can see no leaf change at all yet, nothing at all, right? But a nice little scenic area.
Yes, very.
And I'll show you one more photo, two more photos from our trip. So here is another one coming up. As the sun is setting, I think this is our first night there. Sun is setting. Little photo. These are with my cell phone, so not with anything highly advanced.
Now, what are you using? You using a Galaxy?
Galaxy Note 5, not the one that explodes on you.
No, don't use that one yet.
Yeah.
You know, the guy I work with is using it, and supposedly they're putting a patch out that will not let you charge it beyond 60% right now.
Oh, that's helpful. And then here's a last photo of our dinner the Saturday night.
That is beautiful out there.
It is.
And I think my pictures are probably coming off very soft because of my download speed on this. So
You may not be watching, because it's sharp. You may not be watching it in 720p.
oh yeah, I'm sure I don't have 720.
Yeah. This is just the last night. And you might look at that and go, hey, it looks like some of the leaves are changing in the background. That's just the sun as it's setting and the golden hour that's hitting the stuff back there.
Right.
All right. So enough of my little trip there. Let's talk about the photos that were entered in this year's contest.
Okay.
Okay.
This month's.
What did I say?
This month's. You said this year's.
This month's contest. Yes. The what was it? August contest, because we're currently doing a September one. The
Correct.
August contest. So we're going to show you the three finalists, and we'll talk about them for a minute, and then we'll announce the winner, and then I'll be posting up later on the Facebook group. So the first one up is from Charles Bush. This is a three flowers, so it's going to meet ADs. Got to be in threes. I'm not sure what he's going to say about the stuff at the lower end. So that'll be interesting. But the three things and a butterfly or moth, whatever it is, shot there with a nice blurred background. The one critique I'm going to give, and I can't wait to hear AD's thoughts on this image, is that for me the butterfly needed to be tack sharp, and it was not. It was a little blurry in this. You may not be able to tell with this live streaming, but the butterfly is a little bit dull. The contrast of the bright yellow and the pink of the flower that the butterfly is sitting on, I think that fits nicely with the image. But I wish the butterfly was sharper.
I agree, and I don't know what his exposure was, but that was definitely shot wide open.
Yep. Yeah. The noise, and Jimmy saying something about it. The flowers or whatever they are down at the bottom of the screen there. That's where I'm wondering if AD is going to say we should have cropped it a little bit more there. But I think the one thing I want to ask him about is when you do that, if you do crop the bottom, it is going to make the out of focus butterfly even more stand out even more.
Right.
Yeah. All right. So that's Charles Bush. Now we're going to go to Ralph Jensen. Rolf, I don't know how you say his name, and I can't remember where he lives, Norway or somewhere over there, and I could be totally off, but it's not in the United States. And he just has fantastic images. Love his images. This one is of I imagine it's a lake here that's happening with a rocky shore. I love. Those rocky shores wouldn't be great as a beach, but this water is probably cold anyway. But I love these rocky shores like that, and they're kind of going, starting at the lower left corner and moving their way up along the bottom, and then up around the upper right side of the image, with the sunset just above the middle of the image to the far left, where you can't quite see the sunset or sunrise, whatever one's happening there. And it definitely looks like a long exposure image because the smoothness of the water. You see that?
I agree, and I like this shot. And usually you say make sure that horizon is not dead center. It's not. It's slightly up. It's actually probably at that third, just around that third line. but you have so much going on both sides of the horizon. You got mountains, you have the rocks in the forefront, and then you got nice looking clouds. I mean, the picture's really got a lot in it.
It does. And I like the tone of the image.
Yes.
I like the tone of the image. Very good, Ralph. If I'm saying your name wrong.
Oh, well, you say everybody's name wrong.
Yeah, I do, unfortunately. All right, our last of our 3 finalists coming up is from Daryl Harrington, and he's been a finalist, and I think a winner before, too. We've seen a lot of good work from him. This is a shot of the Milky Way, and as I looked at this image, you got the lower foreground is really dark. You know, like that's fine for me. That's fine. It's really dark. You have what looks like maybe some kind of observatory or something on the right-hand side, and a little house on the right-hand side, and then down in a valley.
Yeah, it looks like an observatory on the on the right. That's
Which
what it
is
looks like to me.
An observatory. Having an observatory in the photo of the Milky Way is awesome, by the way.
Yes.
Then down in a valley, you've got what looks like some city lights, some little bitty city lights that are happening. And as I looked at this more, I realized that might be clouds. He might be above the cloud level when he took this photo. You see that? Where it looks like
yeah. You know, I don't think when I looked at this picture originally, I don't think I noticed that. Yeah, so he is way up. Now, where was this picture taken? Did he say where it was taken?
He probably did, and I don't have it. But yeah, that looks like he's above the cloud level.
Now that you say that, yes. That is cool. Yeah. I wonder if this is Hawaii.
I don't know. We'll have to.
Now I'm going to have to see if I can find it back in the Facebook group.
Well, I'll look over there too. But and you can see a little bit of a glow, the yellow glow, orange glow, whatever it is, of probably some city lights that are happening. But to me, that wasn't too distracting. Here we go. Yeah. Oh, I'm never going to be able to say it. Hawaii. Yeah, he's out in Hawaii Island.
I was Hawaii. Oh, right.
Yes, of Maui, which is 10,000 feet above sea level.
So this is Mount Kilauea. This is the volcano, the top of the volcano over there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So you're right. He was up above the clouds.
Yeah. That's pretty awesome. All right. So that's our 3 finalists. Let me bring us back to me. All right, Tim. So now we're going to have to announce a winner. So, yeah, and Jimmy out in chat says watermark, and let's flip back through all 3 of them real quick. For watermark, you do see Daryl Harrington image in the lower right hand corner, a watermark. Some people are very particular about that because they don't want their photos being, they're afraid they may be stolen and used on the internet somewhere. People are so horrible these days. They'll just crop out his name there and use it anyway.
Yeah, really.
Ralph or Rolf, however you say your name, sorry. I don't see any in this little thumbnail that I'm looking at. I don't see any watermark. And that's another approach some people have taken. Is like, look, it's going to happen. I'm not going to worry about it. I'm not going to put up a full res raw image anywhere. But if they want to take this little one, they can. And then same thing with Charles, no watermark. So some people do, some people don't. It's one of those, it's a Nikon, Canon, Sony, PC, Mac, watermark, not watermark. That is a battle that, disagreement that a lot of people have on what you're going to do there. And there's probably no right or wrong. Right?
I agree. Yeah.
All right, so let's go back to me. And now let's get the winner pulled up. Do you remember your vote, Tim?
I'm trying to find it. I think I know which one I voted for.
I'm gonna pull up your vote while we're waiting here and see if Tim picked the winner.
Did I pick a winner this time? Please. Please.
I will tell you that Mike picked a winner. Maybe Tim did. Maybe Tim did. All right.
I was close between 2 pictures. I know that.
You were, yes.
But
And really, the voting here was fairly close. The 3 great photos from Charles, Ralph, Daryl, all 3 of them were great, and a lot of good ones that didn't make the final 3. It's always a tough, call there. All right, so we don't have any drum roll music. I'm just going to have to get right to it. So the winner of the August 2016 jpeg2RAW photo contest is Daryl Harrington with his Milky Way shot from
Yes,
Hawaii.
that was the one I picked.
That is the one you picked. Yes.
Yes.
Great image. And Jimmy out there says he preferred the butterfly. That is the great thing about photography. It's art. It's not a science. Some of it may be, but it's art, and different people like different things. Generally, Jimmy, this time my favorite won, but most months my favorite does not win. So I know I'm right there with you. But congratulations,
Very
Daryl. We'll post that here tonight or tomorrow night at the latest. All right, Tim. I had a couple other things that were in the list, but I don't know if we really need to talk about them.
Now I'm going to read this other one about this guy in Kentucky to myself.
Well, now that you've mentioned it, I think we're going to have to show it.
Yeah.
So I don't know of any update on this since this is posted, but there's some dude in Kentucky who has gone around and either planted these things or took, whatever he did, modify them. But he's taking trail cameras and put explosives in them. And he's done a whole bunch of them. Put a whole bunch of explosives of them out there, and people have come across them, and some of them are booby trapped. If you move them, they'll set off and all kind of stuff. But I think didn't he die? Isn't he dead?
Yeah, he was fatally shot early this month when he tried to escape.
They took him out there to have him help find these things, and while he's out there, he tried to escape, and they shot him, and now they don't know where they're all at.
Yes, and that's why they released this warning to say don't touch any, and they showed a picture of what it looks like. Yeah, that's pretty freaky.
Yeah.
What is wrong with people?
What is wrong with people? That's for sure. To put all these bombs out there, it's gonna, whether it kills somebody or maims them, whatever else, it's just awful.
Yeah, I just don't get people.
No. So that wasn't a good news story that I put up there. Let's not end on a bad news story. Let's go back to me as I find what I wanted to talk about.
Is that a good news story?
No, the bomb thing was definitely not a good news story.
No. You said come back to me.
No. Let's
can't see me, but I am laughing.
Yes, I'm sure you are. Let's talk about the 2016 Olympics. Mm-hmm. Did you watch the Olympics?
Not nearly as much as I used to. And I don't know why.
Yeah, and I of course love the swimming. My son was a swimmer, high school swimmer. Love the swimming. Love the women's beach volleyball. Love lots about the Olympics. Lots of us there. Here you see a pod or whatever you call them. A whole group of photographers. Lots of white lenses, unfortunately, for the Canon guys. But there's a good number of Nikon lenses in there too. Shooting that stuff.
Just think about how much is right there. I mean, each of those lenses is like $6,000 to $7,000.
Yes. And it was talking about Getty Images. This article is about Getty Images and talking about how they shot around 1.5 million photos, an average 83,000 photos each day over the 16-day event. And they had an average turnaround of, 59 seconds?
Yeah, I had read an article prior to the Olympics about what they were doing and their whole setup and how they prepare for the Olympics, how many photographers, how it's sent directly into pretty much one person decides, I think it was one person decides which pictures are going to be released out to the internet and how quickly they turn this around. It really is. It was just amazing.
Yeah, right here. They're talking about right here where they say the digital world demands we get these iconic images into gettyimages.com as quickly as possible. Speeds and we as quickly at the quickest possible speeds. Sorry. And we have over 62 miles of fiber optic network cables enabling us to connect our photographers' cameras from the key photo positions inside all the Olympic events directly back to our editors to get the images from camera to customer in as little as 59 seconds.
That's just crazy.
This is not just unbelievable. I don't think they talk about it here, but I doubt they're shooting RAW for something like that. Maybe they're shooting RAW plus JPEG.
No, I think they're probably shooting JPEG on these.
Yeah, they probably are. They probably are.
Yeah.
But that is just absolutely incredible. Anyway,
Oh man, I got this picture of boxing of this guy about to get clobbered with a the blue glove. If you scroll down.
let me go back to it.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh my goodness.
Let me go to the photo. So you've got underwater at the swim. You got from an angle coming from up underneath the swimmers.
That's cool.
Yeah. Then you have the Phelps Lochte. I think the more iconic one from that one is that one now because Lochte got in trouble. But the Phelps and the guy from South Africa, I think it was, who just was obsessed with Michael Phelps. That one. You have Michael Phelps here with good God, a whole bunch of medals. You have the men's, I think it's men's polo, where they're, except for their head caps and the ball, they're naked.
Yeah, we'll skip right that. They got nice abs. That's what I look like under my fat.
Yeah, me too. Underneath the fat is all that. You got the gymnast, Simone, and multiple images there of her doing her floor routine, I think it is.
Oh, I didn't see that one. Oh, there. Oh, yeah. Wow, that just popped up for me. It wasn't there for.
Then you have the wrestlers, some of the wrestlers. You have the golf, nice, awesome.
And that's a great shot with the ball right there up at eye level. That's cool.
Yeah, that is cool. You got the boxer who's bleeding. I don't think that's the one you were talking about.
No. The next one right after. The next one,
you got the boxer. I don't know what's going on there because he doesn't even have his hands
trouble.
up. Yeah.
Yeah, no. I think that was the end. That might have been the last hit he took.
Yeah, and then you have the ping pong player, or whatever they call it. What do they call it?
They don't call it ping pong?
Maybe they do. They don't have a name for it. Women's, whatever. I love how the entire scene is dark, except for her paddle, and the ball. That is just fantastic. He had to have done that with flash, or he or she had to have done that with flash. Just absolutely amazing. Then a long shot from two people fencing.
I like this other fencing one, which is a multiple exposure.
That
is
action
cool.
One. Yes, that's incredible. Another the badminton from top. Table tennis. Jimmy says it's table tennis, not ping pong.
Table tennis, yes, we knew that.
Yeah, and
we were testing Jimmy.
Tennis. What I don't know.
Pole vaulting.
When I first saw this, I thought this was beach volleyball, and I go, "What has happened? How did she get this
really
high?"
Jumping.
and
you saw the pole.
Then I realized, okay, yeah, that's that. Basketball, of course. I think this must be the Olympic, the runner.
The hurdle's pretty cool.
No, that's Simone, the gymnast, with all her gold medals. A silhouette of one of the runners.
And a great shot of her.
The hurdles, when you shoot a lot of sports and you're looking for a different angle, I love looking at these images of sports to get ideas of different angles.
Exactly.
Because you end up with the same shot. Everybody gets the same basic shot. This shot of the hurdles is just fantastic. It's a different look at hurdles. I'm sure if you shoot hurdles all the time, you've done this, but I have never seen it. And then just Usain Bolt. Couple of images Usain Bolt, running.
Oh, there's been some really great ones of him running and like turning around and laughing at people. I mean, he's just way outclassed everybody.
Yeah, well, and you have a couple of those here where he's just running and laughing at everybody. And then you have the girl who fell, diving. She dived toward, and then look at the timing of that one where she dove at the finish line. The funny thing is, I was thinking as I was watching the what do you call it, track and field this year. I wonder if anybody's just dove for the finish line to try and win. And this girl did. She dove for the finish line. And as you can see, this perfect shot lined up right on the line and taken at the exact right time has her crossing the line first as she dove.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Landing probably hurt, though.
It probably did. And people started saying, hey, that's cheating. And there's nothing in the rules that say you can't do it. It does seem a little cheap, but it's not cheating. There's nothing that says you can't. But yeah, you're right. It probably
but
did
I mean, everything you hear about that, like you think about baseball, running up the first base line, they tell you diving into the base is actually slower than running through it. So I wonder.
She might have won anyway if she wouldn't have done that.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Because they tell you that you're not going faster when you dive because you're losing that forward momentum by diving forward.
Yep.
I don't know.
And then just, all these wonderful images. I mean, to be I know it's a crap load of work. And these guys and girls are just probably dead tired after the Olympics. The photographers and the athletes too, but the photographers. But it looks like so much fun from somebody who doesn't have to go and do the work.
Right.
It's fantastic. I did, now since you brought it up, I did have some of my own photos that I've taken throughout the years in sports. Just got a few of them, not very many, that kind of captured a moment in time that meant something to me and meant something to the person who was doing it too, and that I was going to share. You have to watch it on after the fact. But
Right.
you want me to go ahead? Since we got time, we can go ahead and show those.
Okay.
Okay. All right. This one is at a night softball game, and I think that their team was losing quite a bit. So, and they had you got to the point where, look, we've lost. Let's have a good time anyway. And this girl whoops, I do not want it to go forward. Let's stop that. This girl here was one of the players, and she was in a dugout at the time, and she was one of the ones that was getting everybody in the mood that, hey, just stop worrying about it. We've lost. Let's just go ahead and have a good time anyway. It's just the joy on her face and the laughter there that I really wanted to capture. This next one is a softball again, another night game where whatever she just did something. This is Jenny, actually, from show number 1 and from show number 100. This is Jenny.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and she had injured her.
I was wondering.
She had injured her thumb, and she was looking at it, and she looked up as I took the shot, and I captured that look. And you can see the shadows of the chain link fence on her face.
Yes.
So that's that one. This is actually one of my favorites of all time. This is a summer swim league with all ages of kids that they have there. It's a neighborhood swim team, and this girl putting on her goggles. And I know that AD would probably criticize me for some of the cropping here. I actually was okay with cropping out some of our left on her right. I like the fact that I got the entire other arm, the bend in there without cropping it out. I should pop this in, sneak this into one of the ones with AD and have him critique it and see what he would say. But I love the emotion on this girl's face and putting those goggles on.
Mm-hmm.
You can tell me if you disagree, Tim.
No. Reminds me of my daughter.
This one, I did not fix it. I need to, but you can tell that it's a little crooked. I need to fix it. But this is probably one of my diving in these low light gems is just as hard as crap to get anything good. So this is one of my better ones, I think, and I love the expression I got on her face. You'd have to zoom in to really see it, but just getting her arm is, of course, not bent right at all, and her legs are not right, so her form is not good at all. But just that overall look of her going across and getting in there.
Now that's off a diving board?
It is off a diving board. It's not one of the high diving boards. It's the lower diving board. And as you can, one of the things, when you're shooting in a situation like this, you quickly see, you were crooked, Mike. You got you got all kind of lines
in there.
You got all kind of lines there to tell you it's not right. So this is one I didn't fix it, but this is one that would be fairly easy to fix.
Right. Lightroom makes this so easy to fix.
Yeah. This next one, so several things happen here. The foreground kid is my kid. And he had just swam I don't remember what race it is. He just swam really hard and was wore out at the end. So it kind of looks like he's sad. He wasn't. He was just exhausted at the end of that race. And he did okay. It's kind of ruined by the second guy, who looks like he's picking something out of his nose.
Yeah. Poor timing.
Yeah, poor timing. The key here to this one, I was sitting on the pool floor. I was getting wet, but I was down as low to their level as I can get without laying on the floor. And laying on the floor, they wouldn't allow you because it's not safe. But I was as close as I could get. And it really changed the angle, which you can see in this one here, too. The same type of thing. I'm down at their angle. She's looking back up at the scoreboard. So I got positioned myself where they're looking back at me because they're looking at the scoreboard to see what their time is.
Oh, okay.
And last one, this is one that if to you to someone other than me and the mom, it probably means nothing. There's nothing special going on here. But this is one that the mom absolutely loves. And I was watching this little girl, watching and had my camera just pointed on her face and moving along with her. And as she got up to her mom, and the mom started talking to her because she had just done a race. And I really don't remember what the results of the race were. But as she went up there and her mom started talking to her, I just started firing away because I knew something was about to happen. The little girl flipped, and I'm shooting at 8 frames a second, I think, 7 or 8, whatever my D700 would do, 7 or 8 frames a second. I'm shooting at that, and the little girl popped up her thumbs to give 2 thumbs up, and then took them down. And of all that, there was only 1 frame that
you actually caught
had
that.
the thumbs up. And I would have never got that if I wasn't sitting there just ready for something to happen.
Oh, that's cool.
So there's a few of my sports photos in the, not the Olympics type stuff, but some things there where you're not necessarily just catching the action, but you're catching the emotion of the event.
Right.
All right. And now we're almost out of time there, Tim. I'm going to go ahead and wrap things up unless you had something.
No. I'm actually getting ready to start taking my pictures because my son's soccer season started again. So now's when I take most of my pictures, other than, of course, Disney. But I still haven't even finished editing my Disney pictures, so I'm ashamed of myself.
Well, you have time to do that, and you can share them with us when you have it. So as we head out, I want to again thank all of our great guests, our great viewers and listeners for helping us reach the 1 million+ views/listens. Without you guys, it would just be Tim and I talking. So we thank you guys for coming out and doing that. If you are not a member of a Facebook group, we would love to have you come over and join our Facebook group. We have several of them. We have a beginners group. We have the regular group that I have up now, jpeg2RAW. Facebook.com/groups/jpeg2RAW. That's our main group. We have a beginners group, like I just mentioned. And we'd love to have you come out there and join those. You can always come out and join the forums, although it's pretty lonely. I have been posting out there a little bit more lately. If you want to join the forums, you can go to jpeg2RAW.com/forums and find us there. Don't forget to subscribe either on YouTube, which is where most of a good number of our video subscribers get us. You can also get video on iTunes and Vimeo. If you want to listen to audio, and maybe tonight's show was probably the best audio one we've done because I had to describe so much to Tim. Sorry, guys, I often forget to describe things more for you guys. But for audio, which is almost half of our listener viewership, we're available in a lot of different places: iTunes, Stitcher, Spreaker, iHeartRadio, TuneIn, Podomatic, Podbean, and Google Play Music, all over the place. Don't forget to join our photo contest, which this month is the theme people, over on our Facebook group, or you can do it from our website. And if you're going to buy anything from Amazon, don't forget to use our link, which is jpeg2RAW.com/Amazon. With that, we get a small credit. It doesn't matter what you're buying. If you're buying parts for your drone, like Tim is, we get a small credit, and we're going to turn all that around to buy things like this Adobe Creative Cloud photography plan that we're going to give away. And we're going to be buying more stuff. We don't spend a whole lot of it during the year, so we can save up and spend stuff there. We're going to get a whole lot of money from our Amazon link, but the more we give, the more we get, the more we're going to give away. Because as I've mentioned, and you're probably getting sick of hearing me talk about it, we don't do this for money. Tim and I don't do this for money. We're going to give away everything we get from the Amazon affiliate link. So the more you spend there, the more we make from it, the more we give away. Just remember to use that link before you go to Amazon. Once you're there, you're going to have to come out and go back in. And I know, Tim, you've used it recently.
Yes, I plenty of times recently. Yeah. I hope you're getting all the credit for all the stuff I buy from Amazon. Really. I
don't know who buys what. So if you ever do buy something and say, Mike, I'd like to know if it worked, the only thing we could do is you'd have to tell me what it is you bought, and then I could search and see if that item popped up. And I can say, yeah, it popped up. And then as long as no one else bought that item too, we could say, all right, that must be you. So that's the only thing we can do. with that. So if you tell me which ones you want, if you ever want me to check any, I'll do that for you.
Okay. Yeah, I'll put a list together of stuff that I've purchased. And yes, if you saw the stuff for the Phantom 3, that was probably me.
Okay. Yeah. We went over 3 of the photos, the 3 finalists from the August photo contest. AD Wheeler and I have been doing a separate show, which we only do on Facebook, which is jpeg2RAW photo review, where he goes over 10 different images from that month, from the images submitted that month, goes over 10 different images from that month, and gives a critique on each one. And he does a very helpful critique. Part of my problem with when I give critique, Tim, is I often think, and maybe this is because of all the people I have to manage, and this is just my mindset, is I'm looking for the negative. And I look for what don't I like about this image, and that's what I'm giving feedback on. AD does a really good job of talking about, here's what I like about this image, but here's how I would do it to make it even better. And he doesn't even really go that much into the negative at all, which is awesome. So, it's great. Even if you didn't submit a photo to be reviewed by him, it's really helpful to listen to him talk about these other photos and see what he's talking about, how that photo could have been made better. And he even did an edit on one of the photos that I thought was a total lost cause. Like, this image is a lost cause. He edited the photo, and at the end, it's like, wow, okay, that the photographer actually took a good working photo that the editing could have brought it to the next level. It was very good. So that is a show. We got to schedule a time to come here in the next couple of weeks to do the August photos, but be looking out for that. AD just did something that I am so excited about. We've talked about backup on the show a lot. And my solution is probably not one the average photographer wants to use. And that's where I use Unraid, which is a software. It's like, I don't know how to describe it, but it's the operating system. Instead of Windows or Mac, you're using a software called Unraid, and you build your own computer that runs this Unraid software that is your file server for the house and does all this kind of stuff. So that's more than you guys probably want to know. But AD just did a build of his Unraid server, and he did a 3-part series on a YouTube video on the building and management of that server. And I think he did a 36 terabyte server.
Oh, wow.
Something like that, 36, 34 terabyte, somewhere
that's
in that
big.
range. Yeah. So, a nice big server that's going to keep him for a long time. If you're, computer tech savvy and like to build your own PCs and looking for a solution that can grow with you and handle whatever photos you can throw at it, or videos, anything like that, take a look at AD's YouTube account and look at those 3 photos. I've been using Unraid and been a huge fan of Unraid for, Tim, probably before you and I even met.
Yeah, I think you've been doing it before we met.
Yeah, so I think it's close to 10 years now.
And I'm still using Windows Home Server 2011.
And I gave up all my Windows servers to use Unraid, so that's how much I believe in it.
Yeah.
Anyway, give that a look.
I'm just looking at my server dashboard, and I'm having issues with it, so that might be my the next thing I work on.
Be what you do next. Okay. I don't do this often enough, but we're still using the music from Jeff Troutman that Aaron Schutt gave us. We're still using that music as the intro and exit here for the main show. So thank you guys for recording that for us and for giving that to us. We really appreciate it. And we've been using it now for a number of shows. That's all I have. All right. So until next show.
Good to be back.
Good to be back.
Good
Yes,
to be
it
back.
is.
Yes.
Good to be back. I had to get a few kinks out of here before we started tonight, and you've had some issues too.
And then I had my own kinks.
But those things happen. All right. Until next show, keep it raw. Good night, everybody.
Night, everybody.